Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mystic, and welcome to something new here on the Shadonia Royals. So, me and Blaze love horror. Well, he likes more traditional slasher fix, but I like things like SCP, and the topic of discussion today, the Backrooms. Now, the Backrooms is super fascinating because at its most basic level, it is everything internet horror rolled into a great package. And we're going to be starting our series diving into the backrooms by taking a look at level 0. So, if you like today's video, do the whole YouTube bullcrap of like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I might start doing these way more regularly, but we'll see. If you're not careful, and you clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the back rooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. That's the post that started it all, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the post that accurately describes level 0. If you've ever seen anything about the backrooms, then you probably already know what it looks like. But we gotta start somewhere, and with level 0 being the most iconic level, that's where we're going to start. So, level 0, also known as the lobbies or the tutorial zone, is a safety class of class 1 and is safe and secure, but is moderately unstable. Well, with a minimal entity count, though it is said by most wanderers to be completely devoid of all entities. This is due to some of the weirdness of the level, but we're going to get right into it. So, level 0 is a non-Euclidean space that resembles the backrooms of some sort of retail outlet. So, a non-Euclidean space, for those unfamiliar with it, means that you could walk in a straight line and wind up back where you started, turn around and retrace your steps, and suddenly you're in a completely different area. It defies all logic of what we think of when we think of how space should work. But all of the rooms in level 0 have the same damp carpet with yellow looking wallpaper and inconsistently placed fluorescent lighting, but no two rooms in the level are ever exactly the same. So it makes it crazy when you're walking through this level and let's say you see one big room that has a bunch of different crosses everywhere, like cross-shaped halls, and then you loop around for like 2 hours and suddenly you're back at that room. It could cause a lot of mental issues. The lighting, it consistently hums at this massive noise the whole time. In fact, you can hear it in the background of what I'm speaking right now. You can hear the ambient sounds from Escape the Backrooms, because I feel it most accurately represents what it's like to be on this level. The substance that makes the carpet wet, we don't exactly know what it is, but we do know that it is not safe to consume, because apparently it causes sickness to the point of death. But linear spaces within level 0 are altered so bad that the non-Euclidean geometry of the level can actually cause you to start going insane. And it's believed that so many people just never escape this level because they wind up going insane. And devices such as GPS and compasses and other things that you would normally use to navigate don't work, and trying to communicate via radio with anybody within the backrooms just comes out as a garbled mess, you know? Think of the Death Troopers from Stormtroopers, just that noise. Level 0 is entirely still. No life, and despite the fact that it's the primary entrance to the backrooms, the contact with other wanderers has never been reported within the main part of level 0. And it's actually believed that a ton of people have actually, unalived here, and we just wouldn't know because we can't find their corpses. It's believed that it's either that level 0 is so big or is constantly shifting around itself, or possibly each wanderer has its own unique instance of level 0 to the point where wanderers will never bump into each other, dead or alive. So it begs the question of just how many people never escape level 0. And we know that hallucinations are common, and some things that people wind up hallucinating are humming from the lighting to increase to a deafening volume and then abruptly silencing, appearance of doors that aren't there, appearance of stairs that aren't there, acute deja vu, human-like speech resembling no known language, movement in peripheral vision resembling insects crawling underneath the wallpaper, which disappears once the wall is observed directly, insight light shittering, and even appearances of unknown entities have all been reported as hallucinations. And according to Meg, the CO2, or carbon dioxide, within level 0 is rising at a steady rate, but they don't know why. So it's entirely possible that level 0 could wind up becoming an instant, unalive trap for anyone due to these high carbon dioxide levels. Now we get to the Manila Room. The Manila Room is a strange part of level 0, as it's fundamentally different from most of the rest of the level. It still has its weird moist carpet and the loud buzzing lighting, but the walls of the room have a completely different wallpaper, being described as a manila pattern, and hence the room's name. And alongside this manila pattern wallpaper, this is actually the only part of the entirety of the backrooms, level 0 anyway, where wanderers can actually bump into each other. It's believed that this part of the level is some sort of focus point of the level, and it only appears pretty deep into level 0, so you have to travel throughout level 0 to actually access it. But luckily, not only does it serve as an exit point from level 0, as remaining in it for a period of time can actually stick you out of the level, but inside here you can actually find documents from Meg, or the Major Explorers Group, which will teach you how to no-clip, which is fundamentally important for exploring the rest of the backrooms. So, as you can imagine, the Manila Room is incredibly important. Entities. A large portion of what makes the backrooms the backrooms. Level 0, of course, has no known entities that reside on the level due to its non-Euclidean makeup, and even if there were entities here, it's unlikely they would ever bump into a wanderer. However, some wanderers report sightings of an entity they've come to call the Howler or the Bacteria. But Meg has reported that this is simply a hallucination, but they are investigating it to see if there is any warrant to these reports. Now, of course, that's just my little headcanon for what is officially known as the Backrooms creature comes from, but, feel free to make your own canon as to why it's there. If you don't know what this creature is, in Escape the Backrooms, it's called the Howler, but in the Backrooms Found Footage series by Kane Pixels, it's called the Bacteria. Officially, this creature does not actually live on level 0. My headcanon is that it is a hallucination. Entrances and exits. This is probably the most important part. Luckily for you, level 0 is one of the most commonly accessed levels throughout the entirety of the backrooms. The main exit into level 0 is the simply no-clip from the reality of Earth, which will place you here. Though you could wind up on level 1, and there's a rarer chance that you'll wind up on level 2. That being said, wooden doors with zeros on them will often lead back to this level, and there's a ton of other ways to get here. In fact, there's so many ways to get to level 0 that they're not all officially listed on the wikis. Now, to exit, if you no-clip, you will always land on level 1. Entering the Manila room will also have a chance to put you on level 1 or level 2 if you remain there long enough. Documentation from Meg can be found in the Manila room to teach you how to survive. If you break through a wall, you could be put on level -1. Breaking through the floor may lead to level 27 and occasionally the void. Entering an emergency exit may lead to level 14. Glass sliding doors resembling those of a greenhouse will lead to level 13. And if you enter a hallway that has red wallpaper, red floors, and red lights, you will be put on the red rooms sublevel, and entering a grate with blue lights coming from it will put you in the blue rooms. So, yeah, there's a lot of exits. Not all of them are safe, though, so I recommend you just no-clip to wind up on level 1. So, in conclusion, like I plan to do for every level I go over, level 0 is a pretty safe but unstable level. It is the primary entrance to the backrooms. It's pretty much devoid of entities, though some people have reported hallucinating an entity, and it's really easy to enter exit. If you ask me, the main fear factor that comes from level 0 is the idea that you just wake up all alone in this place that looks like people should be here, but they're not, and you're constantly feel with this sense of dread and unease as you wander throughout this liminal hellscape. And it serves as a truly terrifying introduction to the backrooms. But all of that being said, join me next time and we'll be going over the next level in the complex, level 1, the habitable zone. Until next time, I'm Mystic. Stay safe and don't it up in the backrooms.